Hey guys, Chakra is here. Another informative video today. We'll be taking a look at Snowball Items, namely Magi Soul Stealer and Sword of the Occult. Before I start though, there's a poll on our Facebook page, on my Facebook page actually, with some options for future informative videos. Your opinion is very important for me, so if you could drop a vote, I'd be very thankful. Starting with the term, these items are coined as Snowball Items because they passively gain stats when you secure a kill or aid in one. These items are not cost efficient with 0 stacks, but as you get them stacked, they start to become cost efficient, and at max stats, they're the most cost efficient items in League of Legends. However, looking at popularity, in ranked, Magi Soul Stealers picked up 0.7% of the times, and in normals the popularity is a bit higher, rounding the 1% mark. As for Sword of the Occult, it's even less popular, 0.07% popularity in ranked and just below 0.2% in normal games. However, the win ratio on both of these items is pretty high, usually above 60%, and it goes up to 75% in some days. So now you're probably thinking, if these items are so cost efficient when stacked, why don't people buy them? Well, there's a high risk, high reward associated to purchasing these items. Whilst you gain 2 stacks for a kill and 1 for aiding, you do lose 1/3 of your stacks when you die. This changes the player's mentality, and the main focus shifts from dealing damage in teamfights to holding on for dear life to avoid losing stacks and thus losing part of your offensive power. Also, usually when the enemy notices that you have one of these items, they'll try to focus you down in a team fight ASAP. They want to prevent you from snowballing and steamrolling the game as much as possible. So now let's take a look at cost efficiency. Starting with Magi's, it's very inefficient at 0 stacks. You've basically paid 2/3 more of what you usually do to get 20 ability power. But at 5 stacks it's almost cost efficient, and at 6 stacks it starts to pay off. At 13 stacks, you're getting double the stats of what you paid for, and at 20, the item is worth more than 3 times its gold. The item is worth 4,086 gold at 20 stacks, if you prefer. Sword of the Occult is even more efficient as an item. At 5 stacks, it starts to pay off. At 12, the item's worth is double its money, and at 19, triple. At 20 stacks, the cost efficiency is 3.45, or to put things in a different perspective, the item's gold worth is 4,144 gold, approximately. To conclude, as for the items, I think that if they weren't so cost inefficient at 0 stacks, let's say for a certain gold value you are getting 60% of the stats that you're paying for, rather than 30% that you're getting right now with the items, I think that people would actually take the risk and try to snowball. But at the moment the discrepancy is so high that people will never risk buying them. They can completely destroy any advantage that you currently have. People don't want to lose the edge and go all in. The point, the idea that I want to transmit with this video is to take more risks. I want to challenge you guys to try to use these items more often, especially in normal games where your mindset isn't as serious as in ranked games. The current meta is all about building defenses and playing safe. Try to bring a bit more spice into it. Chakra is signing out. I'll see you guys later.